What movie is more realistic, Star Wars or Star Trek?
That's kind of like asking, well, I can't even think of the analogy because they're both unrealistic. You know, the idea...
To me, Star Trek is based on like socialism being this utopia, so it's the most unrealistic.
Well, I was just going with the technology. I wasn't getting into the political implications of that. But no, I do really, you know, the idea that there's this holodeck where you can go do anything in there and nobody's done adult movies in there or something. It just, that boggles. I mean, you know, something we've gotten humanity wrong if we think that would happen or wouldn't happen. But
there was never an episode where... never mind. All right.
Maybe I just got cut. I don't know. But I don't know. It's, you know, you said you got this idea where you can instantaneously travel around. So you got faster than light travel because you're going to have that to get to various places. But even, I mean, you know, you're talking warp 9. Say that's 9 times the speed of light. That means it only takes, instead of 4 years, it takes just under 6 months to get to the next closest star. And yet at warp 9, it takes them 8 hours to get somewhere. You know, so there's something. There's a lot more to that picture. I don't think any of them. Yeah, I don't think any of them are realistic. They are close enough that I enjoy watching both of them because you're kind of having to suspend a little bit of judgment. I know people get really worked up about whether Star Wars, Star Trek, for a whole slew of reasons. I actually like them both. I don't think either of them are realistic, but I'm not really looking for realistic when I watch those movies.
What is the most realistic sci-fi movie?
That's a good question.
1 point, Ethan.
Never get the good questions.
I don't have extensive enough. What I liked The Martian because that's close enough to being plausible. I mean, you know, like I said, there's stuff beyond what can happen, but it really wrestles with there's just a hostility to life on other, you know, you go to Mars and we're not designed to be there. It's not designed to host life. And so there's all these things you have to do to manage. I liked that one because it seems like, oh, that might actually happen.
Total Recall too. Like same message.
Yeah.
That is true. Yeah, total. Well, except for the fact that there were aliens who had built this thing that made it habitable that we forgot how to use. So.
Oh, it was aliens? I missed that part. You listened to the...
Well, which Total Recall are we talking about? Are we talking about the one that came out in the 80s or the remake?
Yeah, Arnold.
Okay. Yeah. There was this big... I hope that's not a spoiler. It's been around long enough.
I think you're safe.
I've seen that movie so many times and I completely missed that point that aliens made the giant dome that they all live in?
No, they'd made the dome, but aliens had made the thing that went down into the ice and evaporated all the ice and made the atmosphere. So.
Okay. Oh, they turned back on at the end. That's
right. Yeah. So,
I forgot about that.
Just barely saved him because he went out just late enough that his brain didn't explode when he was out there without an atmosphere.
Right at the last second.
Yeah. Which still doesn't solve the problem of Mars isn't large enough to hold on to that atmosphere, so it'll stick around for a while, but just repeatedly evaporate away. So.
Do you say all this stuff while you're watching movies with friends and family?
No, I intentionally. Actually, of all things, the funniest one I had with that, and I think this was Field of Dreams, which again dates me a little bit of what movies that I know, is I'm sitting there watching that with my dad, and there's this scene where they're driving through St. Louis and going somewhere. And my dad drives a lot. We're very knowledgeable of, you know, maps and stuff like that. So they're driving along and I forget, I don't even remember where they're going, but my dad goes, "That's not how you get there." But no, I intentionally don't do that because I find it annoying when people do that. So.
Oh, dang, that was funny.
Man, that hit my funny bone right in the funny bone.
Yeah, we're watching our own videos and saying they're funny. How cool is that?
I mean, who does that?
Who does that? So. We do that. Live action sketches, animation, podcasts. We have it all on the Babylon Bee YouTube channel. So we want you to subscribe to it so you can get notified. How do you get notified? Don't you have to click like a...
I think there's a bell picture.
A bell. And
click the little bell.